Wonderful. Oh, I have to mute you, Pierre, for a sec here. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Sunday celebration of love. And yes, Pierre and I have this thing going this morning. We have this echo thing happening. So, I'm just going to keep muting him, and he's going to have to unmute himself, and we'll play back and forth with that. So, if you are joining us for the first time, Pierre, give me a sec.
Yep. I unmuted. I think I'm good now.
I'm muting you though, because I'm not finished talking. Oh, that's funny. This is going to be a very interesting experience this morning. Oh, and if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. I realized that we have new people that join in every week, but I don't see you. I'm used to, when I was in person, seeing people and greeting them and saying hello. So I say hello to you and thank you, welcome, and yes, bless you for bringing your consciousness here with us today. We come together on a Sunday to celebrate this atmosphere, this energy of love. So I invite you to sit back, relax, have your coffee, enjoy the incredible music with our guest musician today, Pierre Gautreau. And we have Hester Ostry as our practitioner today. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Reverend Helen Vello. Our theme for this month is the splendor of beauty. And my question to you this morning is your cup of coffee that you might be drinking right now half empty or half full? Or is your cup brimming over with love, peace, joy, beauty, abundance, and wholeness? No right or wrong, just something to take note of for yourself. And with that, I am going to now invite our wonderful musical guest, Pierre Gautreau, to start us off with an opening song. So now you can unmute yourself there, Pierre.
I think we're good. This is called Give What I Gotta Give. Walking around town, have you heard the news? Well, apparently we all got free will and get to choose. Are you singing love songs, or are you singing the blues? Well, now you got your way and I've got mine. Connected by the universal central line, attracting to us what we believe all of the time. So we'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. It always brings the sun out, which breaks the dark cloud above. Now hey there in the mirror, what's it gonna be? 'Cause you know that release in the past is gonna set you free. And there's only love, it's plain to see, that can take away the pain and the misery. So I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. It always brings the sun out and breaks that dark cloud above. If I think of how I'm feeling and it isn't quite appealing, well, there's two things I can do. I can still play the game, you know, and feel the same, or put my foot in the other shoe. So I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. It always brings the sun out and breaks that dark cloud above. It always brings the sun out, which breaks the dark cloud, which breaks the dark cloud, which breaks the dark cloud above. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna give what I gotta give.
Awesome. Oh my God, I have so missed hearing your voice and having your energy with us. Thank you. That was so cool. I was wanting to say, damn, Pierre, that's good. That's great. Oh, so we are going to move into our invocation. And I invite you to take a breath. Take a breath into your heart space. And as I hold this candle up and recognize that normally we would light candles when we're in person for all the different faiths, and then a candle that represents the light in each one of us. I invite you just to recognize within yourself that beautiful light within, knowing that when we pass beyond time and space from this world of constant change and uncertainty towards reality, reality with a capital R, we recognize the universal consciousness of all life, which acknowledges all people, all faiths, all sentient beings are the sameness and individual expression of the one creative energy that is of us, as us, that we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. As it is with light, so it is with life. One light, one cosmic heart, celebrating our oneness we share with all people everywhere. Recognizing the still inner voice of truth, that voice that says, I am light, I am love, I am kindness, I am goodness, I am beauty, I am wisdom, I am justice, I am truth, I am wholeness. Affirming this, all this, I rise in my mind to recognize I am part of an infinite whole of life itself. I choose my heart as my source of inspiration. I open the doorway of my heart and enter into the past, the present, and the future simultaneously, honoring all that has come before us, our ancestors, our teachers of ancient wisdom. I honor life in this moment, seeing the light within each one of us, and I recognize the constant renewal of my mind is the key to joyous living, and so it is. And with that, I'm going to invite Pierre to come on back and take us into an invocation song. And so, Pierre, if you want to unmute yourself there. Yeah, thank you.
This is called Grace. lace the shoes upon my feet and go walking down the street with a smile on my face. Found this joy deep inside. It busted my heart open wide and filled it with grace. It's food for my soul, nourishes me as I grow old. It enlightens my mind when I live in grace. When I live in grace. Every day starts anew. There's always more good to do when we live in grace. To put a smile on someone's face, or just be there to hold the space and wash them in love. It's what we can do to see right through to the essence of who they are. Like you and me, look beyond what you see. Love's a bottomless reservoir when you live in grace. When you live in grace. Align with divine, the greatest life you will find in grace. In grace. In grace. In grace. Lace the shoes upon my feet and go walking down the street with a smile on my face.
Beautiful. Thank you. I'm going to invite Hester Ostry, our practitioner of the day, to lead us in affirmative prayer.
Thank you, everyone, for having me here to lead as practitioner for today. My intention is to continue seeing the splendor of beauty in everything. As I sit here in this safe and sacred place, with the knowingness that wherever I am, God is, and wherever God is, I am. It is with this sense of unity I raise myself to my highest consciousness as I relax in my heart space, feeling the divine and creative energy that is expressed in beauty and harmony, swirling around, vibrating at all levels, expressing, expanding, and active through me as me. I recognize that the splendor of beauty is the nature of God, and it is at the center of all its creations. Through this expression of oneness, I see beauty in everything, no matter what presents itself to me. As there is only perfection in all God's creation, the beauty of the omnipresent God. I choose to see and feel beauty in all its forms, in nature, in individualized spirits, circumstances, and situations, as I become aware that it is all a reflection of how I interpret or perceive it. With this knowledge, I continue to express my inner beauty, which encompasses all God's nature in all that I do or say. My life is full of joy and peace as I see and sense the energy of beauty in all the people that I encounter daily. I see and feel the beauty of courage, the beauty of love, the beauty of vitality, the beauty of abundance, and the beauty of rebirth as I continue on life's journey. I am profoundly grateful to be here this morning and to be able to share what beauty means to me. I release my word as law, knowing that life is unfolding perfectly in beauty and grace. And now I invite everyone to join me in saying, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Esther.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was, just, that is the power of prayer when it moves us and shifts our energy to expansion. And you did that so beautifully.
Thank you.
And so, what does the splendor of beauty mean to you this month?
Oh, from the time I started with Center for Spiritual Living, that's something that I've always tried to practice, is to see beauty in everything, because you need to feel that. So my idea of what beauty was nature. I used to live around the lake shore, and it was always my pleasure to be walking around along the lake and checking on the birds and dragging my grandson to help me clean up the lake shore. So I used to see beauty in all of that. But things have shifted tremendously. I moved to the northern part of Brampton. I don't think I've seen a rose or flower out there. Even the dandelions are starting to look good to me, you know.
Well,
But
dandelions are a good thing these days.
yes,
People finally
so
get to,
yeah.
it's good for the bees.
And with all the lockdown, I have shifted my idea of what Splendor of Beauty is all about. I see beauty in the people that I encounter in my house, my granddaughter, my grandsons, my family. I see the beauty behind everybody, even if sometimes that they're annoying. But I shift and I see the beauty, the courage, the way we human beings act on things. I just see the beauty, and I do not, even with my grandson, sometimes I call him Bam Bam, like in Flintstone, because he's so energetic. He's always banging on something. At the beginning, I'll tell you, it was a big adjustment for me, because I mean, I haven't raised children in such a long time. But then I started seeing his smile, and I started seeing his curiosity. I started seeing his strength. And believe me, we are the best of friends right now. So I believe that it is very important not just to see with our senses, but to see what's behind it. And that's where I see beauty.
Oh, I have chills. I have
Oh no.
chills. It's like your words are so profound, and I thank you. Thank you for sharing the beauty beyond what we just normally see, and going deeper into the the soul, the light of everyone in your family and the people that you're with. Oh, Hester, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Would you like to lead us in
And
our affirmation? And I'm going to bring it up here.
yeah, so can you repeat after me? I see perfection in the natural world around me. Again, I see the perfection in the natural world around me. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you. Thank you. It is always a delight to have you
Oh, thank you.
join us. And I love you. I appreciate you. And I am continually inspired by your consciousness, Hester. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take it back, give it over to Pierre again for our feature song.
Okay, this is called "Go for a Ride." Hopefully, one day soon we'll all be able to do that. Leave the province or something. All right. Driving down life's winding road, it might seem you've been paying the price of living someone else's dream. You got to make it your own and take your rightful place upon your throne. Even if you've been beaten to the bone, you are more than who you are. You're a precious stone and you're alive. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Yeah. It may be dirt, it may be stone. Whatever road you're traveling on, pull the top down, crank the music, feel the wind in your hair. Drive like there's no tomorrow, pain or sorrow, breathe the air, you're alive. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride, yeah. When the tank runs dry, the answer's not in the sky and heaven's not above. Inside, you'll find the love. The love's inside. Don't let your love hide. Take your love for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Yeah. On a plane, expand your brain, walk in the rain, meditate, go on a day, collaborate, sing a song, right or wrong, play along, or plant a tree, jump in the sea, live with glee. You're alive. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride, yeah. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride. Go for a ride.
Thank you so much, Pierre. You know, it's funny because the lyrics to that song would have been a much better earworm than the one I've had all week long, when I was thinking about our talk title or my talk title for this Sunday. And I ended up having the earworm of pick myself up, dust myself off, and start all over again. And I kept going, why am I having this earworm? Like, where did this come from? And then I looked it up, and it was from the 1936 movie with Swing Time with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. And then I went down the rabbit hole because I found out you could you can purchase movies on YouTube, all those old movies to watch. I think it's like $15. I didn't do that, but I watched all the trailers. Then I listened to the version of that with Diana Krall. And then Nat King Cole used to sing it as well. So I thought, okay, I must have heard it in my childhood because my parents were big Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers fans. I watched all those old movies. But it's like, yeah, pick yourself up. Nothing's impossible. I have found for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, and start all over again. And it's like, wow, how many of us have had to pick ourselves up over the years and begin again? And I know that Hester has, and I know that other people have, and I've heard the stories. And, we've all had relationships and jobs that we thought would go on forever, or lives in a certain direction that we thought would go on forever. And then we find ourselves falling down and having to pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and start all over again. Carl Jung says, there is a necessary suffering to being a human being. And what it means is we all experience it. We all experience those moments where it's like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to start all over again? But let me ask you this. Instead, can we actually fall up versus falling down? Is that possible? Yes, it is. As we begin to embark on a further journey, and one that, yes, it always involves challenges, mistakes, loss of control, and the necessary suffering that we as human beings create, not as spiritual beings, but as human beings, we create it. We can find that falling down is actually the way to move upward, to begin again, to create anew. It's when we turn injury into wisdom and we take all those heartbreaks of life and turn them into spiritual joys, the spiritual joys that are waiting for us. It's when we enter into an intimacy with our own soul and discover a resiliency and a love deeper than we've ever known before or come to terms with. And I think of my dad. I thought, oh my God, this is make a great Father's Day talk, but it's for this talk. I'll have to come up with something else for my dad with Father's Day. But my dad started over many times over his 82 years of living. I mean, he got married and had a son and went off to war, the Second World War, at the age of 20. And when he returned, he was given divorce papers when he returned from the war. And, I thought about it. It's like, I have a half brother who's 80. That's a little mind blowing. But, he just gave her everything she wanted and he started all over again. And 10 years later, he met my mom when he was giving my mom her first flying job at the Toronto Island Airport. He fell in love and they moved out west back to Edmonton where my dad was from, and they started all over again. My dad was 40, my mom was 39 and pregnant with me. And then after my mom passed, he picked himself up again and started all over again. And he married another woman who then died 5 years later as well. And then he met another woman. And they started a life together. And I said, I said to this woman, she was amazing. Carrie was her name. Don't marry him. He doesn't have good karma around marriage. And they never did marry, but they had a beautiful life together. And they lived on this enormous farm where they were doing biodynamic farming. And my dad was learning this whole new way of horse whispering, training horses. And by that time, he was in his 70s. And then their house burned to the ground. He lost everything. He lost all of his history, all of his medals, all of his certificates, he lost every personal belonging he had. And I remember him saying, I've rebuilt my life before. I will do it again. And he did. He did. And they built another home, and for another 10 years continued to live on the farm until he died when he was 82. And, he continued to live life to the fullest and appreciate all those little things in life. I remember I would call him from my hot condo in downtown Toronto, because I was really living the life. And he would say, I'm watching the birds come and enjoy the bird feeder and the dogs lying at my feet, and I hear the cows mooing. Not mowing. Well, they were mowing the grass, because he did that biodynamic farming where he moved them every single day to a different patch of grass. But they were mooing in the background, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm in a really hot condo in downtown Toronto, and I've got it. I know what's going on. I've got it all together. Oh my God, did I not? I was in my, I guess, late 20s then. And I think, I think back now and how he could appreciate and see so much beauty and enjoy life. So, it's like we can all pick up and start all over again and begin again. And of course, it always starts in our mind. And for some people, they like the idea of a new beginning, whether it's, the new job or moving, new house, a big lifestyle change, whatever it is for them. There's, for some people, that's like, it's a promise of a fresh start. And we can always have a fresh start each day, if we decide to have a fresh start. Because nothing from our history is holding us back, except for the power we give over the fear of change, the fear of something different, or the fear of not knowing the outcome. And of course, right now, we're all being called to embrace big changes. We're all going to be starting again. We're all going to be running out to take a ride in our cars and go to a patio and eat on a patio outside, and whatever other changes are in store for us. My question is, are you willing to embrace the change? Are you willing to pick yourself up and have faith that you're going to be okay? You are going to be okay. So Ernest Holmes says, to those who know that life goes on, every day is but another fresh beginning, filled with hope and wonder. We should put all thought of fear and dread from our minds and live in joy and happiness. Each day, fulfilling the duties and entering into the joys of living, not as thought we were either old or young, but from the broader basis that we are these infinite, creative, expansive souls right here, right now. No beginning, no end, and yet always beginning again. Our mind bears witness to all the forms of our inner and outer experiences. So and ask yourself this question: what is my mind dreaming up, creating? And what dream would you like to begin dreaming? It's so interesting because we interpret what we experience faster than the twinkling of our eye. How many of you remember the ink blot tests, right? They put ink blots and you could say, oh, I see a spider, or I see a giraffe, or whatever it is that we saw. So here's the quantum physics part of my talk, because what they've discovered is, and HeartMath has done the same thing with their own scientific experiments, is that when we interpret an ink block, it is reflecting back to us what is happening within ourselves. As soon as we connect the dots on an ink blot and interpret it in a particular way, the ink blot actually instantaneously shapeshifts and mirrors back our projection. Think about that. It is our projection that is being mirrored back to us. So the ink blot is just shape-shifting into whatever we believe we're seeing it to be. So it's not as if one moment we view the ink blot one way, and in the next moment we view the ink blot and it appears another way. In the very moment, in that instantaneous moment, we view the ink blot a certain way, and in the same moment, it appears that way. So as viewed, so appears. The ink blot just reflects back to us our own interpretation. And this doesn't happen in time. This doesn't happen over time. This happens outside of time, faster than we can think or blink, faster than the speed of light. Which totally explains why, I'll own it for myself, my subconscious mind is creating my interpretation of life faster than the speed of light. Because once we project onto that ink blot, the ink blot will provide all of the necessary justification and convincing evidence to prove the rightness of my projection, thereby compelling me to believe in its reality. And it's a never-ending feedback loop that is completely self-generated by our own minds. And then I thought, well, that explains my reaction last night that I had. I had a reaction. It happened so quick. And I'm like, wait a minute. It was totally my projection. Totally my projection. And because this happens in no time, we don't have that moment of assessing, am I going to have this projection? That projection just happens. That reaction just happens. So we get fooled by this reality creating power of our own mind into thinking we are seeing objectively. No, we're not. We're projecting. It's all a reflection of our own mind. We are the generators of meaning. I'm going to say that again. We are the generators of meaning. Or as Friedrich Nietzsche said, there are no facts, only interpretations. So how often do we judge another by the moment we walk into their story and only see them as that moment. We interpret them, that's who they are, and that becomes it. How often do we judge ourselves by hanging on to a moment in our story and then continuing to make the story so? And I love this because it's like last night I went to bed and I'm going, what's going on with me? This is not about anybody else that was involved in my projection and my reaction. I'm like, what is it for me? What's my moment in history that I am hanging on to, that I, maybe haven't forgiven myself for, or haven't done some healing work around? And of course, that's like a never-ending story right there, because it's always continuous. And I got to this place and I went, holy smokes. Part of it is my imprinting. Part of it is my experience. And part of it was, I'm just still hanging on to this belief. And it is limiting me from seeing greater possibilities. It is limiting me from beginning again in my own mind and starting anew. And so, how often do we limit ourselves and tell ourselves that something is impossible or something will never change, or that's just the way it is, folks? Maybe we could begin again. Well, actually, we can begin again. It's not a maybe. We all have choice around this. And we can plant those new seeds and cultivate something else that is greater, more loving, more kind, more generous to ourselves and others in any moment. It starts by, first of all, recognizing, what is that limiting belief? What is that thing I'm projecting onto this experience and I'm having such a big reaction to? Because anytime I have a reaction, I'm not in the objective. I could convince myself I'm being objective. And I could find all kinds of evidence to back myself up, because I'm very clever that way, as we all are. Or I can go, it's a projection. The ink block shape shifts to whatever I'm perceiving. You're going to look at ink blots in a whole new way now. So, could you begin by disbelieving that something is impossible for you? Absolutely. First of all, we got to recognize those patterns, that we've solidified over the years. And some of those patterns are useful, and some of them they no longer support our well-being. They have so much weight to them, and anything that's weighing you down, it's like, okay, it is time to get rid of. It is time to release it. So look at, when you think something is impossible, when you think it's maybe impossible for somebody else to change or be different, take a look, inquire, where did those beliefs come from? It's historical printing from our family system, from collective social beliefs. I mean, hey, how many of us would have said 20 or 30 years ago, it would be impossible to land on Mars? And before then it was impossible to land on the moon. We are always in this evolutionary process in a pointed forward momentum. We don't go back, we go forward. It's just, how much do you want to recognize that you can move forward? You can fall up into a whole new level of consciousness and create an environment in which you can thrive. You can fully thrive. How often do you talk yourself out of something that is healthy and loving and constructive for you? How often do you not follow through on your commitments to yourself? And something I want to say about commitment. When you make a commitment to something, all the, I don't feel like it today, and nah, maybe not, or, all the excuses come in. Recognize that is just old programming, and you follow through on your commitment no matter what you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel, because you are not your feelings, you are not your body, you are not your thoughts. You are this infinite creative being that is in an evolutionary process, in a pointed forward momentum. And so you can be in flow with it, or you can be pushing against it. And it's so funny, because I was once a month I have a conversation with a friend of mine, and her mom used to read Ernest Holmes and Science of Mind. And her mom's long passed on. She was like this beautiful, beautiful woman. And my girlfriend said to me, my mom used to say to me, Rebecca, and I could just, it's just like the tone of voice and everything. You have to stop fighting against the flow of life. It's like you are so determined to go from, she lived in London, Ontario, from London, Ontario to Ottawa. But maybe the universe wants to send you to Hawaii. Get in flow with the rhythm of the universe. Get in flow with the goodness. How many of us are so determined to go somewhere that we fight and we fight and we fight, versus maybe the universe has a whole different idea. Maybe the universe wants to send you to Hawaii. I'd like to go to Hawaii right now. So, get in flow. Stop fighting with yourself and allow yourself to have a new beginning every single day. Every single day is a day that your mind responds without hesitation to your thoughts, your prayers, your choices. And when the thoughts and the prayers and the choices you are making are in flow with the rhythm of the universe, with that forward evolutionary process, oh my God, think of what you can create in your life. Think of all the wonderful things that you can say yes to, the new possibilities that you deemed impossible. Nothing is impossible unless we believe it and we make it so. If you believe it's possible, it is possible, because we live in this quantum field of infinite possibility. It's swirling all around us. It's in us, of us, through us. Are you willing to say yes to what is possible? Are you willing to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, fall up into a new evolutionary process, and start all over again, begin again and again and again? And yes, does that take resiliency? Absolutely. It is one of the things that I recognize about my dad. He had an incredible ability to be resilient. And I know why. Because he lived from his heart. He truly lived and was led by his heart. And so he did many, many things. Most people from his generation would know him as a pilot, because that was his profession. But he was so much more than that. Remember, don't pinpoint me. Don't judge me by the story you walk into. See that there's so much more to each and every one of us. It's like what Hester said about going beyond and seeing the beauty in each and every person. And Hester, I keep telling my daughter, I can't wait till you have children, because she's very precise and packaged and controlled and likes things a certain way. And I said, you're going to have 2 kids that are just going to blow that all up. And I'm like, and I can't wait to be the instigator of that. I'm going to be the grandma that's egging them on, saying, yeah, do it, do it. But you know, it's like, yes, those little beings that just want to say yes to life. And we go, no, 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 you got to eat this way. No, no, let them go. So let yourself go. Let yourself go and just allow yourself to say yes to a new beginning. And just see what the universe has in store. And if you end up in Hawaii, let me know. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. I love you. I appreciate you. And thank you for listening. I am going to bring up our giving affirmation here. So just give me 1 second. Oh, you can say this with me. Divine love flows through me. It blesses and multiplies all that I have, all I give, and all I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, and so it is. And now, I know I said last week the PayPal link was fixed. No, this week it really is fixed. So you can use PayPal, you can use Interact, you can use e-transfer, credit card, whatever you want to use. Just go to our website, globaltruthcentertoronto.com. We gratefully receive your contribution, and knowing that 10% this month goes to the Shanti Brava nonprofit educational school in India. And for those of you who don't know, that man in the photograph there, he is the founder of this school that takes one child from a family that's considered an untouchable, and from the age of 4 right through until they graduate university or college, the school supports them, feeds them, clothes them, gives them an education, and with the idea that this child will grow up, have the education, and be able to raise their family, support their family, and take them out of poverty. So beautiful, beautiful school. You can watch a documentary on the school called Daughters of Destiny on Netflix. And when all of the when all of the stuff in India, when it's all transitioned and they start to move forward again, I'm looking to have someone from the school and to be a guest on the Conscious Cafe. So it's just not even going there for them right now. They also have a COVID relief fund on their website if you want to do an additional donation to them. And with that, so Power of Prayer starts Monday night, 4 weeks of really moving energy, learning how to connect to your own inner power, to shift those beliefs. And that is an online class with me, 4 Mondays in a row from 7 to 8:30 a.m. starts on tomorrow, Monday. Also, and I don't think I put it up here, I haven't. Yes, Welcome Home Spirit Breath is live. You can sign up for a 2-week introduction on the website, welcomeom.space, for all of the meditation classes. I also want to say, I didn't put it up here, Conscious Cafe, this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on Zoom and Facebook Live. My guest is Jane Roos, who is the founder of Can Fund, the Canadian Athletes Fund. They fund athletes. She is going to have on an Olympic athlete and surprise that Olympic athlete with funding for their training on the Conscious Cafe. So please join me, Facebook Live at the Global Truth Center website page, or on Zoom, and all the links are on our website. Today, oh, Hester, this is the wrong number. Hester, or is it the right number? If you want to unmute yourself there. Because Hester will be available for a 3-minute spiritual mind treatment after service. Is that the correct number, Hester?
No.
No. What's your number?
Okay, it's 756.
756?
For 905. Sorry.
Area code 905.
756 1983.
9083?
1983.
1983. Say it one more time. 905.
756 1983.
Okay, so you can call Hester. 3-minute treatment just for what you want. She's not going to get into conditions. She's not going to get into the story. Call her. She will treat. She will move energy and open you up to new possibilities. Thank you for that, Hester. And here's my other big ask. I want to put together a community video. So send in a photograph of you and your family, you and your partner, you and your pet, whatever, out in nature. Send that to me. I've got a few. I need more. And I'll put together a video just so that, and it's for us, so that we can just see everybody. And because, if you're on YouTube, I don't get to see you, or we don't get to see everybody on Zoom. So please send that to me. And it's Rev Helen at globaltruthcentertoronto.com. So send that in. And then I keep losing my screen and I keep losing my cursor here. Here we go. I also want to say there we go. Thank you for following us on Facebook, Instagram, Meetup, YouTube. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you get notifications of when we're live. Please, if you're on YouTube, hit the like for the service today. And join us on social media. And then a big thank you to Pierre as our musical guest today. Thank you so much. And to Hester, bless you. Thank you for your consciousness. And I'm going to hand it over to Pierre for our final song.
All right. This song, I wrote this song years ago, and during the pandemic, I've had some free time, and I've looked back at my catalog, and I totally rewrote this song. It was a completely different song, but something else wanted to come out, so it's now called Rise with the Sun Till It Sets on Me. As I wake from my dreams with my feet on the ground, the potential in this day has no bounds. Starting my day right, nurturing thoughts of the way to the light. I don't know where the road goes from here. All I know is I won't live in fear. Find the joy, that's the key. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me. There's beauty all around, I don't have to look far. The face of my lover or a song in my car. When I realize that love's all around, the free freedom to be myself is what I found. I don't know where the road goes from here. All I know is I won't live in fear. Find the joy that will set you free. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me. And those days when the sun hides from view and my sky is dark and gray, I remember the lights on the other side, and tomorrow is just a day away. I don't know where the road goes from here. All I know is I won't live in fear. Find the joy, that's the key. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me. Gonna rise with the sun till it sets on me.
Thank you so much, Pierre.
Oh, my pleasure.
Loving the echo.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Thank you. So, thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Namaste, T-Roll. We'll see you next week. We'll see you Tuesday night for the Conscious Cafe. We'll see you Monday night if you're in prayer class. And many, many blessings. Mwah. I love you. Bye.
Right, Reverend Helen? I gave you the wrong telephone number. It's 647 760 1968.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
I'm going to repeat it one more time while people are on.
647 760 1968.
Thanks, Hester. You're awesome. Thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.